Click clack, we're back. Mr. Soul Stable. It's been a couple days since I vlogged, or how I like to call it, vlog. Yeah, say what you like. Anyways, want to touch off on a couple things. Emergency preparedness. Now, Davis County here in Utah was hit pretty hard by a really powerful windstorm. I'm talking 100 to 110 mile per hour winds, and all chaos, man. Like dogs, cats, cows, horses, all being blown all over the place. You know, ending up in roofs and trees, and you know, grandma is being blown, you know, across the Great Salt Lake. Poor grandma. Anyways, so what I wanted to talk about tonight was emergency preparedness. Really quick, I'm gonna touch on just things, you know, maybe some basic items that you should have in your car in case you are ever caught in maybe not just a snowstorm, but just any kind of storm. Because winter, the official start date for winter is December 22nd, if I remember right. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody out there correct me. And yeah. So, you should always have an emergency blanket, something to keep you warm. Maybe an extra sweater as well, a hat, some gloves, that sort of thing. Snow scraper. Snow scraper is huge. Pet peeve that I have. I hate it when it snows and people want to leave all the snow on their back window. Like they don't look out their rear view mirror, or like there's nobody else that drives around them. What the heck's your problem? Clean the snow off of your car, please. I can't say that I won't intentionally, maybe intentionally is the wrong word, but I can't say that I will not, you know, avoid you. If you bump into my truck, or if I bump into your bumper because you're not paying attention, I guess we'll figure it out and send it to the insurance like all the folks up in Davis County. So, check this out. I've got some pão de queijo. It's a bread that's eaten in Brazil. It's a cheese bread. You know, you see all these crazy Domino's commercials about cheese bread and people tweeting about it, and Facebook, and like Domino's is the new Pizza Hut. Come on now, Pizza Hut, get it together. People are buying over just some crazy commercials. Anyways, cheese bread. If you would like the recipe to this cheese bread, some pão de queijo, I've got the recipe thanks to a Mr. Jake Fitzemanu and his family, and I can email you that recipe. If you'd like that, contact me at info@soulstable.com. Okay, and I can forward you that recipe for the pão de queijo. So, jumping into the emergency kit that I have here. Guess I better not eat because in my mouth will be stuffed and can't talk. But emergency tool. So this tool, it's pretty cool. Yeah, looks kind of like a hammer. But this tool shuts off the gas, shuts off the water, pries doors open, digs through debris. It won't spark and it won't rust. Some pretty cool stuff. And it's got a 5-year warranty. I'm just reading off the back of this what it does. So huge stuff to be able to turn off the gas during an emergency, and also the water. You don't want a flooded house, and you don't want people in your house passing out because of the fumes from the gas, or gas leaks, or whatever may happen. Utah is due a pretty huge earthquake from what I hear. What else is in this thing? We've got a solar crank, radio, flashlight, thermometer, and a compass. It even has a siren with a flash. I guess that's not a siren. That was a lame cougar impression. It's got a digital clock and stuff as well. So it's crank operated and solar powered as well. So good thing to have in your emergency preparedness kit. Got some water bottles, and these water bottles pretty neat. Just fill it with water. It filters the water out so that it makes it safe for you to drink. Very, very important to have clean drinking water in an emergency. Some food items. Check this out. Dehydrated egg mix. So while y'all are having granola and peanut butter and whatever else, I'm going to be scrambling eggs during an emergency, okay? Follow your nose. I just might invite you to have some. With those eggs, we've got some dehydrated cottage cheese, some Los Ramenudos, got some water tablets here. These are pretty cool, 100% natural, biodegradable. Used to wash your face and body, wipe hands and fingernails, clean teeth and mouth, treat cuts and scrapes, use as cool or hot packs, wrap food to maintain freshness. Tons of those. They'll come in handy. And then got like a couple dozen of these butane cans there. And that's because, well, what did you think I was going to cook my food on? Just tutuafi and, in the middle of the street with the clothes I'm wearing and, some trees or something? Nah, man, come on. I got a little square multi-grill. So I'm going to be making some flapjacks, aka paniqueque. And tons of other little items. Well, that's the big bag that carries all of the main items that I'll be using with my family. Got a couple boxes of the 9mm Luger. I don't know, just personal preference, right? I guess as far as what you stock in your emergency kits. So it's all up to you, pretty much. If there's something that you can't live without, then by all means, who am I to tell you what to pack in your 72-hour kit? They recommend that you go through your 72-hour kit every 6 months, just re-updating items that are in there. And then I've got a list here that I saved from earlier of the things that are in my emergency kit. So I'm going to go ahead and read over them. Oh, here's a note. So older kids, my oldest is only 6, but they can be responsible for their own pack. We've got packs for all of our kids, so that's a good thing too, because they all have their personal items, clean underwear, change of clothes, warm clothing, blankets, an item to keep them, happy during a time of catastrophe, that sort. What else? Okay, so jumping in, food and water. You should have a 3-day supply of food and water per person. So protein or granola bars, trail mix, dried fruit, crackers, canned tuna, beans, meat, Vienna sausages. Man, look at all that stuff. Maybe I was fed our emergency kit all growing up, huh? I know I'm not the only one. Vienna sausages, baby! Yeah! Candy, gum, Jolly Ranchers, that sort of thing. So water, we should have 1 gallon or 4 liters per person for those 3 days. Okay. Clothing, change of clothing, long sleeve, pants, socks, jackets, etc. Undergarments, raincoat, poncho, blankets and emergency heat blankets, cloth sheet, and a plastic sheet. So tarps are good as well to substitute, and you can substitute with whatever you have at home. Fuel and light, battery lighting, so flashlights and lamps. That lamp that I showed earlier was pretty good because it's just crank operated, right? Another thing that's really, really important is if you've got a phone where you can download some apps, there's usually a flashlight app that you can download that comes in handy, not even just during emergencies, like in a dark garage or even in a dark hallway or in your car when you're trying to find something, okay? So, there's tons of means to get the items that you need for an emergency. Flares, candles, We have a bunch of telangos that sometimes we practice, actually, my family and I, a couple months ago, what it would be like, since we have young children, to go without power. They loved it. And it was pretty hard to enforce and act like it was the real deal. But we lit candles, turned all the lights out. We're all in one room, and it was a fun experience. On that note, so when the power goes out, because it's not just during crazy storms that power goes out, but one recommendation that I would have for young families like mine would be to find a central place or somewhere where you're pretty familiar, either in your home or in your car, where you can store warm clothing for your children and for yourself. Because it's a pain to walk through the dark and try and find items. So it's nice to either keep it in a quick box or a bag, either in a closet in the hallway or somewhere where you can get to it pretty easily from anywhere in your house. So that's a Soul Stable tip. Boom. Trash bags, duffel bags, all that great stuff. Waterproof matches. What else? Pocket knife, pen and paper, an axe. Or if you like to do it my style, I've got a couple jalapenos in my stuff. And then later on this week, I'll show some of the other items that I have in there. Personal supplies and medication. Medication, huge. Something that I should include in this category as well. I'm going to write that down. Because I've got a newborn. And formula should be included here in my list. That's something I didn't have. But I'm going to add formula and diapers and stuff that I can take care of my baby with. See, this is great that I am going over this list. So, general medication items. So, ibuprofen, children's medication. Would suck to have them sick. God forbid that any of this stuff happens and we're unprepared. So, prepare, please. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Right? Everybody's heard that saying. Personal documents and money. Place these items in a waterproof container. Yes, I've done that, and I will show that to you later. Legal documents, so birth and marriage certificates, wills, passports, contracts, vaccination papers, insurance policies, a little bit of cash, credit cards, prepaid phone cards, all that good stuff. So that's the gist of my list. Oh, forgot. Rope, duct tape, in case you gotta bound some prisoners or some children that are bow, okay? Can opener, gosh, dishes, utensils, and all that other stuff. So I'll touch on this a little bit more in depth with the other items that I have. But people, let's prepare. You hear about it. It can't be just Utah that's prepping for, state of emergency. I read the other day that there's a multi-state, what would you call it? Earthquake drill that's happening, and that's coming this next year in 2012. And some of those states are Illinois, Minnesota. Oh, geez, my geography's getting away from me. The Dakotas. I think Ohio. Anyways, that region. It's a multi-state earthquake drill that's going to go down February 22nd, I believe. It should be pretty cool. But read about it. Do a Google search. Google me, baby. Coming up on my time, I just wanted to give some quick shout-outs. Really quick, tomorrow night, live from Samoa Inc., I'm doing Ustream broadcasts. So if you have any questions, if you'd like to have any shout outs, or if you'd like to come into the shop and maybe get your tattoo while I'm there, or go on there with me and talk about some of the items that you have on your mind, or some things that are maybe affecting your community that you'd like to talk about, let's do it. So Ustream tomorrow, Samoa Inc. It's about 58 South and State Street. Okay. And shout outs. Here we go. So I wanted to bust out a map and get my shout outs in. because this is blowing my mind away that I'm getting, some contact from these areas. But that's the power of social media and YouTube and all that stuff. So here I am, way up here in Utah. I'm getting some love from the people I love down in Bolivia, a mis paisanos, a las cambas de Santa Cruz. Les quiero mucho y te agradezco pues por todo su apoyo. Yeah, my people down in Bolivia, man. That's where I serve my mish. What else? Oh, I got a couple YouTube users to shout out. If I can get to Guam. Oop, Guam's not on that side of the map. It's going to be over here on this side. Down in the South Pacific, Somalian brothers and sisters out there. His username is Tribal Dunks with a Z. Big up, Mao, Rob Bolecki, 55, Sione FM, Samoana Matangi, Toonie Tunes, my man up in Logan. Hit him up if you want some beats for your music, not just reggae music or hip-hop music or R&B, any kind of music you can think of. My man will fabricate the beat, the tune for you. That's why his name is Toonie Tunes. And that's it. Last shout out I wanted to give was to my wife. Tonight, December 6th, 2011, we celebrate 8 years that we've been married. Baby, I love you. You're the soul to my stable. I know, kind of cheesy, right? But thanks for all that you do for me. Thanks to all of you viewers out there. And have a good night.